I was just really bored. I didn't really connect with anyone on the screen, but there were some moments that made me laugh. Welcome back and welcome to another movie reviews video. My movie reviews are always spoiler free and I will leave timestamps in the description box below in case you want to scroll to a particular movie you want to hear my thoughts on this week. However, I only have two movies to talk to you about because I have been away and not spending much time in cinemas. So I've made two trips to movie theatres and kind of regretted both of those. So the first movie I want to talk about is Emma, which is based on the novel by Jane Austen. And in case you are not aware of the synopsis of Emma, Emma Woodhouse lives in Georgian and Regency era England and occupies herself with matchmaking in sometimes misguided, often meddlesome fashion in the lives of her friends and family. Now, I have attempted to read this book in the past and I have attempted to watch the Gwyneth Paltrow version of this film with very little success. However, watching the trailers for this one, it seemed quite funny. You've got Bill Nighy in there, you've got Miranda Hart in there. It looked quite funny. And Bill Nighy, it really is funny in this one. He has this whole thing with not liking drafts and being a big hypochondriac, which, you know, he may or may not be right to be in this day and age, but he was funny. The rest of the film, I was bored. I want to say that I didn't really find the plot easy to follow, but I remember from having tried to read and tried to watch this story before that there isn't a whole lot of plot to follow. There's some matchmaking and some matchmaking that goes well and some matchmaking that goes wrong, and Emma is not a likable person, and so that made me really struggle to follow the film, to connect with the film, and unless you are a fan of the story already, you are a fan of the book, you are a big Jane Austen fan, then I definitely wouldn't recommend wasting your time going to see this one at the cinema. I don't believe that the funny parts were redeeming enough that you should be buying a movie ticket to go and see this one. And then another film that I really didn't like but made me laugh in parts, which seems to be the theme for this, was Impractical Jokers, the movie. Now, having watched the movie, I realise I am not the target audience for this movie because this movie is based on a TV show that I have never heard of. I saw a preview for the film, I thought it looked funny, but there are an awful lot of in-jokes in the film that are obviously for people who are fans of this group of four people. So this film tells the story of a humiliating high school mishap from 1992 that sends the Impractical Jokers on the road competing in hidden camera challenges for the chance to turn back the clock and redeem 3 of the 4. And that's all you need to know. You now don't need to go and watch the film. There were moments that made me laugh, definitely, but they seemed to be laughing more on screen, a lot more than the audience were laughing. So they were enjoying it and they were making each other laugh, but I don't really feel like, well, A, they weren't making me laugh, but I don't really feel like they were making the audience as a whole laugh because there was plenty of other people in the cinemas with me. It was quite a big screen. Some of the jokes went a little bit too far, and some of the jokes I just felt like weren't that funny, and I quite like this style of comedy. It's not that I'm not a fan of that style of comedy, and there were moments where I did laugh out loud, definitely more than the previous film, but I understand, having watched it, that I'm not the target audience for this film. So I would say if you are a fan of Impractical Jokers, the TV show, or you are a fan of these 4 people that I've never heard of as a comedy group, then maybe go and see this film. If you have never heard of the fact that this is a TV show, then definitely don't go and see this film, because there are so many in references and in jokes that just didn't work for me, and the way they've cut it together and edited together felt very stilted as well. I was like, oh, we're moving on now. Okay, right, that's fine. So yeah, not a good week in film watching for me, but happy to bring you some honest thoughts that aren't positive for a change. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to go and watch and review here next week, I will have some more movie watching time between now and next Sunday. So do leave me a comment. It does happen. I go and see things that people ask me to. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed so that my bookish videos during the week land in your subscription feed, and next Sunday's movie reviews video, which will hopefully be a little more positive, will also land in your subscription feed. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.